Yo, what up guys, Travic here, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite farming strategies that I've managed to do throughout this league. Something very interesting and a little bit different. Now, if you've watched some of my previous videos or you've seen some of the way that I've been doing farming on stream or on YouTube, you'll notice that I farm my maps in a very interesting way. A lot of the strategies that I've done outside of Essences have used these 8 modded Delirious maps, and they have been extremely handy, especially on a Headhunter build. These maps give you a ton of extra quant, a ton of extra rarity. They have a bunch of mods on them that make the maps really juicy. And one of the questions that I always get is, how did you farm them? Well, today we're going to get into that, and we're going to talk about exactly how I make these maps, the strategy that you need to do it, and pretty much give you all the ins and outs. Now, if you don't know what a Delirious map is or a Delirium map, pretty much we'll go over that too, and we'll start from the ground up and we'll get into the strategy. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm attempting to farm a map that has 8 modifiers. So if I hold down Alt on this map, you'll see that it has a bunch of different modifiers. There are exactly 8 of them. And then it has on it Delirium reward type jewelry. Players in area are 20% Delirious. What that means is that a map is affected by Delirium and that it has extra bonuses such as quant, rarity, more monsters. Now, when we normally run regular maps like this Strand map, I put this Strand map in. I open this map, I walk into it, and it's a very basic map. There's nothing fancy going on except the map mechanics. I can run through this whole map really quick, and you'll see that there's nothing unique or nothing very interesting about it. The thing that we're going to talk to you about today, though, is what makes Delirium on the map interesting and why we want it. Usually, the only way to get Delirium on your map is if your Atlas tree specs into a bunch of nodes that give you chance for Delirium, which they're right here, and you get a Delirium mirror. And the Delirium mirror puts a little mirror on your map. You run through it. There's this weird fog that rolls in, and your map pretty much has this like fog that moves throughout the map. If you take too long, the fog goes away. If you go through the map at a good enough pace, you'll get a bunch of cool rewards. Or you could take one of these Delirium orbs and throw them on your map. When I throw this on my map, you see the players in area are 20% Delirious. The more Delirious on the map, the harder the map becomes, and then the more rewards that you'll get. Now, going into this Strand map again, we're going to see something a little bit different. If I hide my face for a second, you're going to see right over here, we have a bunch of Delirium reward tiles, and the map has this weird fog and mist, and these mobs are spawning all around. Now, if I start running around the map and I start clearing out some of the mobs, you'll notice right away that these reward tiles are filling up, and as soon as they fill now, boom, you get a bunch of cool rewards. Now, Delirium is great because it adds a bunch of extra mobs. You can see I'm getting a bunch of extra reward tiles. There's loot exploding all over the place, and it just gives the map a little something extra to it to really get you going. Now, you saw too, using Headhunter, I was able to get a bunch of Headhunter stacks. My character started flying and going completely crazy, and it really ticks up everything that you want to do. Now, if you're doing really interesting farming strategies like strong boxes, or you're doing rogue exiles, or you're doing harvest, you pretty much want a nice juicy map to accompany your farming strategy so that you can just get the most out of your materials, especially this late in the league, or if you're watching this in the future, you want to make sure that when you're doing your maps and farming your maps, you get the most out of it. Now, you see right here, this map, corrupted for 8 mods, Delirious, and you're kind of still asking that question like, hey, isn't the whole point of this video to talk about how you get it? Well, let's talk about it and let's figure it out. Step 1 is, how do the maps drop corrupted? And they drop corrupted thanks to this Scarab. This Scarab says non-unique maps found in area are corrupted with 8 modifiers. That means every time that I drop a map, they will be corrupted with 8 modifiers. So you're gonna say to me, wait a minute, if a map is corrupted, how do you get Delirious on them? Usually to make 8 modded Delirious maps, you'll go into a map, you'll get a map, you'll roll your map, you'll chisel your map, you'll put a Deli orb on it, and then you'll Val orb it, hoping it goes 8 mod. But if this drops it corrupted, then what? Well, if we pair this with this, maps found in your area have layers of Delirium. That means that when I farm my map will drop with different layers of Delirium. And you can see here, I have a bunch of maps with 20% Delirious. This one has 60%. This is 20%. Here's another 20. This one has 40. And these maps that you farm will drop 8 modded corrupted, and some of them will be 20% Delirious. Some of them will be 40%, 60%, 80%, or 100% Delirious. So you essentially can farm all the maps that you want. Now you'll say to me, wait a minute, how do I farm the maps? Is there a tree? What do I do? What's the strat? Well, let's go over and talk about exactly what you need to do to make sure that you can farm these maps yourself. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up your atlas tree and you're going to want to copy down this atlas. This atlas is going to give you everything that you want. This is the exact atlas that I use to farm my maps. It has been used by many other people. It has been pretty good and really successful. Essentially, what we're doing is we're taking all of the map chop chance nodes. We're getting all the explicit effect modifiers on our maps. We're taking all the map up tier chances. We're taking a bunch of Scarab nodes. We're taking singular focus to focus on the map that we want to farm. We're getting a bunch of map tier up nodes, more quantity, more rarity, and we're taking some shrines. Essentially, the shrines are for more monsters. More monsters means more loot. More loot means more everything. We're also taking a bunch of altars so that we have a bunch of extra mobs to kill and chance for extra mobs. And sometimes you get map duplication altars, which will duplicate all of your maps. You're also going to take these 2 beyond wheels up here, or 3 beyond wheels up here, so that you can spawn beyond monsters and you have a chance at extra maps. Now, the real kicker to this strategy is the reason why this atlas tree is so successful and it works so well is when we do tier 17 maps, they have a modifier on them called more maps. Essentially, this means that tier 17 maps will just naturally drop more maps. Now, this strategy, unfortunately, is a tier 17 strategy. You can do it in 16s. You won't have as good of results. It'll probably be a little too costly to do in 16s, but you can do it essentially in 16s. But this is highly preferred and really recommended to do in 17s. Now, if you're going to be doing this, the first thing that you're going to want to do after you set up your atlas is you're going to want to come over here to your favorite map slot and you're going to pick what map you want to do. For me, I'm going to be looking for City Square. So we're just going to find City Square. City Square is right here. We're going to click on City Square and then I'm going to add them all to my favorites. You can see you can actually click on the empty favorite slot and then click on the map that you want. And you can add in all of your favorites that you're going to run. Now, if you're going to do this in tier 16 maps and you want to farm, say, City Square, then the map you should be running should be Toxic Sewers, or it should be Spider Lair, or Channel, or Spider Forest. Essentially, the theme for doing it in 16s is, since we're trying to farm City Square, we want to take advantage of it being a connected map. So you would just get a bunch of Toxic Sewers, juice them all up, run the Toxic Sewers, and hope a bunch of City Squares drop. Now, the next thing that you want to do, like I had mentioned, is you're going to want to get a map. You're going to want to get a tier 17 map, and you're going to want to roll the map to a level of difficulty that you as the player can do. I can't speak for your character. I can't speak for anybody else's character, but only mine. And I rolled my map to a level that my character, I think, can comfortably do during this video. So I don't actually, break everything and die a whole lot and get Ella giggled out of the video. But the key point with this map is, if you notice at the top of the map, it says more maps plus 110%. That is the modifier that is very important. That is a modifier that we want, and we want as much percentage of more maps as possible. Minimum 100, as high as you can go though. Sometimes when you go a little bit higher than 110, 150, the map becomes a little too difficult. It's a little too much of a struggle. And me personally, I don't want to struggle. I don't want to bang my head against the wall. I just want to be able to do my map, be happy, and go next. Now, what we're going to be doing is, like I said, we're going to roll our map to our desired amount. We're going to take our chisels. We're going to add more quality to our chisels so that our map has more quality, which means more loot. We're going to do 1 Delirium orb on our map. Yes, we're going to Delirium orb our own maps because more monsters, more quantity, more rarity, more everything, more monsters, more headhunter buffs makes this absolutely fantastic. We're going to come over here and we're going to do our map and we're going to look at our Scarabs. Scarab number 1, we're going to be using the non-unique maps found in area are corrupted with 8 modifiers. Scarab number 2, maps drop have a chance to be Delirious. Scarab number 3 says 10% increased maps found for each map modifier affecting the area, which means there's a lot of map modifiers affecting the area, and this is going to just scale it and give us more maps. And then we're going to add this Scarab. This Scarab says area contains 8 to 12 additional packs of difficult and rewarding monsters, which drop 300% increased maps. Essentially, we're going to be adding 8 to 12 packs. They're going to have 300% chance to drop maps. They're going to be affected by this, which gives us more maps found. They're going to drop 8 modded corrupted, and they're going to drop Delirious, and we're going to do 2 of these Scarabs. Usually you would do 3 of these Scarabs, so it would look like this, but in our case, since we want to farm Delirium maps, we're going to be adding the Scarab in. As far as everything else goes, we're going to be selecting blue altars because I like blue altars. You can do red altars. I look blue. We're going to be adding in domination because domination is going to give us more monsters, more packs of monsters, more magic monsters, and shrines are really good. And then we're going to just run our map. You'll see right away when we start doing this map now, we're going to be getting an absolute ton of maps, assuming, fingers crossed, we did this correctly and everything works out well. So let's go into the map, and you'll start, or you should start to see right away, maps will start falling, and you'll notice they'll all be 8 modded corrupted maps. There's one right there. You can see right away that map dropped 20% Delirious, and it's 8 modded, it's corrupted, it's looking pretty good. And there's another one, and 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 then we're dead, because I was looking at the maps dropping and not the balls of, you know, death floating towards me. I was getting excited over the maps dropping. I don't know what to tell you, man. It was pretty bad, okay? Now we gotta get headhunter buffs and go again. Oh, those are like the worst. God, no, please. Those are like the worst mods that we can get on a map ever. It's absolutely horrible. You see right now, we already almost have enlightened card. Sick. Map dupe. No. Balls of death. Now, something really cool. If your build can run all map modifiers in tier 16, this map dropped unidentified. That map unidentified is indeed 8 mod corrupted, because all maps that drop are indeed 8 mod corrupted. So now you have an unidentified map that's 8 mod corrupted, which is pretty sweet. All right, that was a little cringe. I'm sorry. You can yell at me in the comments. It's fine. I'm sorry, man. My bad. I was just excited, okay? But overall, you can see we're cruising through this map. We're getting a bunch of maps. We've already picked up a whole lot of them. And we'll have a lot of maps to go about our business. Now, in terms of these maps dropping, because they indeed ain't modded and because they are indeed corrupted, we can't really alter the map, and we can't really change them, and we're stuck with how they drop. So, you're going to eventually get maps that you can run, maps you can't run, and you're going to have a little bit of excess. And then, you just have to figure out what you want to do with the excess. If this is Settlers League and you're watching this during Settlers League, these maps are the absolute perfect thing to give to your map runners. Absolutely, positively one of the best things that you can be giving to your map runners. You can't go wrong. You can set up your map runners really, really, really nicely with a bunch of extra cool maps and that they can run, and they'll be able to do them for you. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they all don't get 1%ed and die. But of course, we know in Settlers League, all of our map runners decide that every single chance they get, they are going to die and force us to spend more gold. But the really cool thing about doing this strategy is this strategy does indeed drop. You can see we're like not even done with this map yet. We've already dropped 25,000 gold. And you do indeed, while running and farming these maps, get an absolute ton of gold, so you can sustain your mappers. Just don't be like me and constantly die, because that's embarrassing. And I'm not used to playing a squishy build anymore, man. I've been playing solo self-found and hardcore, and I've been focusing on defenses, not being squishy. But you can see, even if we were to fail this map or not be able to finish it, we have farmed an absolute ton of maps already. I am really satisfied. I've already got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 maps or so, right? If I did my math right? Whoops. Damn them tornadoes, man. Damn them tornadoes. But, assuming all goes well, you don't die to tornadoes, Bismuth flasks are not our enemy, it should go relatively well. Okay, if we fail this map, we'll actually roll another one and do another one, just to show you, how well it can actually go. Okay, looking good. Anything else? Okay. We're gonna do the typical stop looting and actually try to finish the map. Okay, there we go. More maps. Move out of everything. Don't get hit by the blowy uppy thingies. Get some headhunter buffs. Grab the shrine. Grab the maps. Come over here. Grab the map. Grab the shrine. Take a look at this. Kill these. See if we get any extra maps. Here. Come over here. Grab this. I don't think I can kill Lycia on this character. I think I usually swap, but we'll see what happens. Looks good. Please, please, please do the thing. Do the thing. The thing. Yeah, it's too hard. But the upside is you can see right away we've managed in one singular map to farm a whole metric ton of maps. One map has given us 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 maps. And then we just dump them into our Delirious tab. And now we have an entire map tab. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab your regechecks that you usually run your maps with, and you're going to want to double, triple, quadruple check your maps. And you can see right away, all the ones highlighted are ones that I could do, and all the ones that are not highlighted, I cannot run. So I will take these out. And then you have two really good options. You can list them on the trade website, and you could try to sell them on the trade website, or you can keep them and you can give them to your map runners. Now, what I like to do personally is I like to bring them over to my town. I've just farmed 70,000 gold for my one map. I'll come on over here. I'll load them into my Atlas map runner guy, and I'll start my maps. And then, you know, I don't have enough maps for all the map runners, and I just pretty much go run another map. It's the best thing to possibly do. If you're like me, though, 1 or 2 tier 17 maps should give you enough to fill your entire tab and give you all the maps that you possibly need to do. And then after you run out of these, you just swap back to this Atlas tree right here. You run your 8 mod map, and then you should be good to go. Now, if you found this video helpful, you found this farming strategy helpful, please don't hesitate to leave a like, a comment, do the share thing. Any interaction that you give to this video is insanely helpful to me and the channel, and I really, truly appreciate it because it, you know, it means the world to me. But for now, friends, I'm going to get this video out to you guys. I'm going to start working on the next cool farming strategy, see what else the Settlers League has to offer me, and hopefully we find some cool, interesting things to pretty much, you know, wrap up our league. We're about less than a month away from early access for Path of Exile 2. I'm fully planning on playing that. And in the meantime, we're going to be doing farming on this. We're going to be doing a little hardcore, a little solo self-found. We're going to dabble in some Project Diablo 2, and we're going to see where the wind takes us. But for now, friends, like I said, if you like and comment and leave the whole 9 yards, I appreciate it. Be live on Twitch, be live on YouTube, and yeah, that's about it. Friends, see you all in the next one.